Hello guys and welcome back to my channel again. In the previous video we had seen something about the PHP project I am showing you, which is a school management system. So in the previous video we had seen how to make a login page, and then we had seen the connection file, that how we can connect our project with the database, and then we had seen how to make a header file and then a footer, and then we had seen that how I made the home page of my project. Okay, so if you like the design you can also copy it. So in this video we will see that how I made the management system for students and faculty. Okay, so these two system, or maybe I will show you that how to store fees and make invoices and vouchers of student, which is a fees management system. So I will try to cover these three topics in this video. Okay, so this video is going to be lengthy but very informative, so stick with me. And if you want to see any blogs or anything regarding my videos, do check my website, the link will be in the description. And if you want to want the source code of this project, so send me an email. You will find my email in on my website. So let's continue to our project. So let me just start my local server. So in today's video I will try to show you the menu section, okay, then the manage employee section, then the manage student section, and then the fees record system. If the video didn't took that long. So before going to the code, let me tell you that all the function we had in the manage employees and all the functions we had in the manage student, both are exactly the same. Okay, so the code for manage employee and the manage student is also exactly the same, only there is a bit difference in the forms. Okay, you can see that the form I used for manage employee is different. Their layout is same, but the attributes or entities I am taking from the employee or user is different. Okay, so I am asking some different things from the employee, and I am asking some different things from the students. Okay, so only these two forms are different. Remaining all of the functions and codes will be the same. Okay, so if you understand the code of this, so you will just copy and paste the code by changing the name from employee to student. You will get the manage student. Okay, functionality. So I will only show you how to manage employee code. Okay, I will show you these 5 codes of manage employees, so, and you can copy that code to manage students yourself. And if you had any questions regarding that, so you can answer me. So the first thing I will show you that how we can insert an employee. So this is the form for the insertion of an employee. So I will pause the video and fill this form, and then I will show you that how I will submit this form. Okay, so you can see that I had filled my form with random values. Okay, so now I will just click on submit the information button. So when I will click that button, my form will be submitted, and there is also a nice looking message over on the top that employee inserted. Okay, so this is how I am inserting the employee and also the student. Okay, so both of the systems are exactly the same. So I will show you the code, that how I write the code and what are the things I write for insert employee. So let's jump to our code. So let me just open the file. So this is the code for insertion. Okay, so I will just show you the code, that what are the things I write in the code, instead of writing all the code, because it will take a lot of time. So in the HTML section, this code is for the form. Okay, So this all of this code is for the form. So if you don't know how to make a form, you can check my video for in HTML playlist, which will show you that how we can make a form, okay, in HTML. So this is a simple form, and I had used simple bootstrap styling on the form. Okay, so these are simple bootstrap classes which I had used. You can see that, which is form group, okay, and the column MD6. So these are normal bootstrap classes. So you can check these classes on the bootstrap website, official website. So the bootstrap I had used in this project is bootstrap 4. Okay, so I don't think I have to tell you about that. You can style it as you want to. Okay, so I will just show you that what are the important things. So for every input I had used an input tag, you can see that, and so this is the input tag for first name. You can see that I had also write required over here. So required is the HTML validation, is a type of validation that HTML is fixing that you have to write the name first. Okay, you can't proceed without entering the name. So instead of doing complex JavaScript validation, which also makes the software slow, I used HTML on page validation. Okay, so user has to write the name, okay, so he can submit the form. Okay, before that he can't submit the form. So you can use this also. And then there is the name attribute. So name attribute send the values which the user will enter, okay, to the PHP. Okay, so we will access the value of this input or any input using the name attribute. Okay, so name attribute is very important. We don't access values in the PHP using ID attribute. We use it by using the name attribute. So if you don't know, so keep that thing in mind. So I had used text type for name, and then I had used a drop down for religion, then for gender. Okay, so you can see that for date of birth I had used the type date. The date type will you can see that put a nice calendar. Okay, so you don't have to do anything for the calendar. And then the phone number I had used type number, and then for the remaining are the tags and list. Okay, so there is nothing to show you. And in the last there is an input type which has a type of submit, which will submit the form. Okay, so which has the value of submit the information and name of submit student information. So whenever user will click this button, thus all the information will be submitted. Okay, so of the employee and the student. Okay, so now let me show you the PHP code. So whenever user will click that button, the form will go to the top. Okay, you can see that I had already included the connection file and header file. Okay, and there is the footer file. Okay, so now there is a if condition which is saying that if array key exists. Array key exists is a built-in function which checks that does the user is sending some kind of array or not. Okay, so yes, the user is sending some kind of array, so it will check the button, then it will post the information. Okay, so now there are two ways to write the query that will insert the data into the database. So you can post all the information directly into the query, or you can post the information into the variables, and then you can insert into the database using those variables. So I had used the variables to insert data into the database because it is easy and more efficient, or there are less uh, error chances. Okay, so this is the syntax of posting the data. Okay, so if you want to post anything in PHP, just write this post $_post and then the name of the input field. Okay, so the name for the first input field is first name, so that is the method for posting anything in PHP, and for declaring variables in PHP we use dollar symbol. So I hope you know that. So after posting all the information, I am writing the query for inserting it into the database. So this is the simple query for insertion. You can check it on Google. So which says insert into faculty. Faculty is the name of table. So it is saying that insert into faculty. These are all the columns, and then it is giving the values, and these are all the values. Okay. So I am saving the whole query in this query variable. You can see that, and then I am running the query. Okay, so MySQL I underscore query will run the query. This variable will link it with the database, and then the query send the query. Okay, so this is the code for insertion. Okay, and this thing down here is the nice looking message on the top I had shown you. Okay, this is a built-in class of Bootstrap which is alert. So you can check that there are many kind of alerts. So if you want to see the alerts, just write on Bootstrap alert on Google, you will find those alerts. So this is the code for insertion. Okay, so let's only change the form if you want to make the student if you want to insert the student. Okay, only change the form as the attributes you want and submit it as this. Okay, so there is nothing to show you in the student code. Okay, so the next thing I will show you that how I added the student. Okay, so for editing I had used two pages. Okay, so whenever user will click on edit employee, this page will open. This page has all the information of all the employees. Okay, then there are two filters. Okay, if you want to search anything, click on this and search the information, only that employee will come. Okay, so suppose you want to update the information of this employee, just click on this action button which is update. Whenever you will click this update button, all the information of that student will be shown in the form. Okay, on the same form on which we had entered the information. Okay, while inserting the employee or student. So update anything you want to update and then click on update the information button. So information will be updated. Okay, and you can see that there is a nice looking message on the top. So this is the code for updation. So there are two files for editing. So one will show the data, and then whenever we will click on update button, so it will update the data. So what I am doing in update function, that whenever user will click on this update button, okay, so this page will send the ID of this employee or student, which is 10, to the next page. Okay, and then we will retrieve the data using this ID. Okay, so as the ID is unique. So suppose user will click this update button, then this ID will be sent. If user will click this update button, so 12 ID will be sent it to the next page. Okay, so this is the basic logic. So I will show you first the edit employee file, which is this. So what I am doing in this file is that I am showing the record of all the employees in a table, and then I am giving some filter to filter the information. Okay, so the filters use a form. Okay, this form is the same as we had used in the previous section, so you can make the form. Okay, exactly the same. Okay, and the button is also the same. Okay, so first of all, what we are doing it, we are selecting the data from the database and showing it on our page. Okay, so we are selecting the data, and this is the required data from faculty. Okay, and then we are running the query and saving our result in the result variable. Okay, I don't think there is any difficulty in this query. So after that I am going downwards where the code for showing the data is written. Okay, so I had used table for showing all the data. Okay, so you can use any other thing if you want to. So this is the first row of table, which is obviously the heading, so which is this. Okay, and on the second row I am showing the data of employee one by one. Okay, so there is a loop in PHP section, so which says that MySQL I fetch array, that fetch the array. Okay, and place the whole array in the row section. Okay, so what this loop will do, this loop will fetch the data of first employee, okay, then the second employee, then the third employee, until last employee, okay. So it will search the whole data of that employee, and it will save it in the row, okay. Then we will show the data to the user using this row variable, okay. So you can see that this is the table, and in the table we are using PHP to show the data. So this is the syntax for showing anything, okay, in HTML using PHP. So this is the row variable, which is this, and then we are showing the ID, okay. Then we are showing the first name, then the last name, and the gender, okay. So the things in the brackets or the names of the columns in the bracket are exactly the same as in the database, okay. So you have to write the columns names over here, okay. So I hope you know that. So in the last line, what I am doing is, whenever user will click the update button, it will send the ID to the next page, okay, and also refer the user to the next page. So I had found that code with a very difficult process and very a lot of search, okay. So this is the code for sending the information, okay. So anything you want to send on the next page, write this code, and this is the page on which we are referring our user, okay. So whenever user will click update button, this ID will go to this page, okay. So we will get that ID on this page, and then we will use it further. So let's go on the next page. So before going to the next page, I have to show you that how I had placed the filters, okay. So this is the form for filters, okay. So you can write the form, okay. So you can write the form in HTML. So I don't know why I write it in PHP, but I did. So you can write that form in HTML, which is more efficient way. So I maybe write this form again in HTML when I will get the time. So whenever user will click the search the button, okay, and so this query will overwrite the first query we had written, okay. So what this query will do, this will update post those two variables which we had taken from the user, and then it will select the same data from the faculty table, but it will using a where class, that where first name is this and the last name is this, okay. And then it is on simply running the query, okay, and then sending the data back, okay. So this is the filter, okay. So now I will move towards the file where user will go after clicking on the update button. So this is the syntax for getting anything from the previous page, okay. So you will write $_get that the information you want to get. So you can use it directly, but I had saved it in the variable, okay. And then I am writing the query which says select static from faculty. So I am getting all the data of this ID from the faculty. So you can see that this is the query. I had used the where class, that where ID is this, get all the data of that ID, okay. Then I had run the query, and then I had saved the result of that user in row, okay. So then I am using the same form which I used to insert the data of employee to show the data of that employee, okay. So you can see that you can just copy and paste that form, okay, exactly the same, okay. So the only thing you have to change it which is the value attribute, okay. So you have to write the value, you have to write this syntax in the value attribute of every input, okay. So it will show the data to the user. So what we are doing, we are using PHP tags, and then we are echoing the row, and then the column we want to show, okay. Then the first name, then the last name, okay, then the religion, okay, anything you want to, okay. This is very simple. So you can see the syntax, okay. The syntax is the important thing, remaining all the thing is not difficult, and all the things are exactly the same, okay. So whenever user will click on this button, this will do exactly the same thing we did in the insert student page. It will get all the data again and update the user, okay. So the only thing I have to show you in this page is update query. Okay, so this is exactly the same I had told you before, so you can also copy and paste it. Okay, so there is no big deal in it. So this is the update query which say update faculty set. Okay, so these are keywords that which are saying update faculty and set first name equals to first name, last name equals to last name, religion equals to religion. So these I am using variables to update the faculty again. Okay, and we are also using where class because we want to update the data on the specific ID, and I had write where ID is equal to ID. So there are two ways of equaling using the equal thing. So there is like, and there is also we can also use equal. Okay, so I had used equal over here, and then I am using the like. Okay, over here, and then I am running the query. Okay, so there is no big deal in it, and then I am showing a nice message which is alert that information updated. So this is the code for updating the student. So I don't think there is any difficulty in it. So if you found any difficulty in it, do comment, so I will show you that how you can solve your problem. So in the next thing is I will show you active student and active inactive student or employees. Okay, so there is no difficulty in showing this form. Okay, so I had copied exactly the same code I had write for this file, which is edit employee, and just copied in it in another page with a minimum changes. Okay, so let me show you the file. So you can see that all the code is exactly the same, only the change is in the first query. Okay, I also didn't give any filters and anything, so you can see that all the code is same, and I just removed this bit of code. Okay, and remaining all the code is same, exactly the same, and the only difference in this code is that I used where status equals to active. Okay, so what it will do, it will show the active student employees or student, or when we will write instead inactive instead of active, it will show the inactive employees or student. Okay, so there is nothing different in this code than this file. Okay, so it is exactly the same. So this is all for this page. So if you want to show the inactive, just write inactive over here. Okay, so this is all for all the same. Okay, so the only thing I have to show you in this page is this progress bar I had used on the top. Okay, so you can see that there is animation, and then it is showing all the inactive employees and active employees. Okay, so what I am doing is here I am using a count variable. Okay, and I am incremented this count variable whenever the loop will run. Okay, so it will get all the number of students or employees, active or inactive, which are in our database, and then I am using a bootstrap progress bar. You can copy this code exactly from the bootstrap page. Okay, and I am just displaying that count. Okay, so there is nothing in this too. Okay, so these are the default classes of bootstrap only. Okay, so there is nothing difficult in it. So the last thing I will show you in the manage employee and manage student section is delete employee. Okay, so delete employee page and edit employee page is also exactly the same. You can see that this is edit employee page and this is the delete employee page. So I had make the code simpler to simpler so that everyone will understand the code. Okay, and I had also made this project very simple. Okay, so it will make it easy for the school for which I am making this project to use this software. Okay, so I didn't design any complex software. Okay, instead of that I had used very simple things. So whenever a user will click delete button, the data will be deleted. Okay, so the only thing is change in the edit employee and delete employee is that we had written delete instead of update button. Okay, so there is nothing changed on this page. The change we had is on the other page where user will be referred. Okay, so whenever we will click on update button, the user will be referred to another page where he will update the button, but whenever we will click this delete button, the user will be deleted from the database. So you can see that the ID10 user, and whenever we will click delete button, the ID10 user will be deleted. So you can see that there is no ID10 user now. So let me show you the code for this. So the code for the first page is this, which is exactly the same, only this delete word is changed on the whole page. Okay, so the changing is over this page. So this page is deleting the data. So what this page is doing, this page is getting the ID from the previous page using exactly the same method in the edit employee page. Okay, then it is using the delete query of my SQL to delete the data from the database, and then it is running the query. So if the query will run successfully, it will send the user back to the back to this page. Okay, and if there was an error deleting the user, it will show the error. Okay, so this is the code for deleting. So I hope you had understand everything in these two sections. So if you had any questions or anything regarding this, so you can comment me, so I will answer it. So in the menu section, I will show you these two couple of pages. So in the about section, there is the documentation of this project, so there is nothing to show you in the about section. So in the all student section, what I am doing is I am giving some filters, and then I am showing the data of all the students in the school. Okay, and whenever user will click this name button, it will show the data of that student. Okay, and then it will click on return to return on the previous page. So this page is also the same. As I told you, I had made this project very in a simple way. So instead of deleting and updating, I had used the link on the name section, and as we are in the edit page, whenever we click on update button, all of the record of user will be shown of that student or that employee. Just like the same, when we will click on this name, this ID will be sent it to the next page, and we will retrieve the data using this ID on that page. So this is exactly the same. There is no changing in the code, so don't get confused. So let me just show you the all student page. So this is the code for all student page. So you can see that it is exactly the same. Okay, so just the filter on the top has been changed. Okay, so I had given more filter in this page. So these are all the filters. Okay, then user will click the button to filter the information, and this is the same table which I used to show the information in the edit page and in the delete page. Okay, so what this page will do, this page will see that if array key exists, okay, then it will run this query, else it will run this query. So suppose user had searched information, then then this query will override this query. Okay, so whenever we will load the page, only this query will run. Okay, so this query will never run until user will search the information. So what this query is doing, this is selecting the data from the database, okay, and showing it, okay, using the same logic. Okay, so whenever user will search the information using this table form filters, so this query will override the data. Okay, so this is the only thing we are doing in this page. And so, and whenever user will click the name, which is this, it will refer it to the next page, which show the data of this user. Okay, So you can see that it has same syntax and same logic. We are sending the ID of that user to this page, okay, and then it will get the data. So there is nothing difficult in it and there is nothing special in it. So this is all for all students, okay. So the next thing I will show you is all faculty. So all faculty is also the same. You can see that all student and all faculty is also the same. So just the filters are same, less. In all student I had given 4 filters and in this I had given 3 filters. So you can remove the filters, okay. You just have to remove the one input field. If you want to remove any filter, if you want to give any new filter, you can just write a new input field, okay. I hope you had understand this code, and this also do the same. Whenever we will click this, it will refer to a page and show the data of this employee. So these two pages are exactly the same. And the remaining these two parts I will show you in their respective parts. So the fee record will show the record of all the student, and all certificate issued will show the certificate of all the certificate the school had issued, okay. So let's move towards this page, which is probably the most difficult page of this whole project, okay, which is the fees. So it has 9 pages, okay, which do different type of things. So I will show you one by one what page will do what things. So what enter fees page will do. So every student has a different voucher number, okay. Whenever we will generate the voucher or invoice or fees challan, okay. So whenever user want to pay the fees of that student, it will write the voucher number, then it will select the date and click on pay voucher. So the voucher of that student will be paid to that respective date, okay, and it will also show that the fees of that student has been paid, okay. So and it will show the data of that student, okay. So keep in mind this page will only pay the fees of current month, okay. So if the user has the fees of 2 or 3 months, so user can't pay the fees over here, okay. So it has to pay that fees manually, okay. There is another way in the software, okay. And then what this page will do, this page will show the record of the student who has paid the fees of current month, okay. So suppose if our school has 500 students and only 300 students had paid the fees of current month, so those 300 students will be shown on this page. And what on the defaulter list I am doing, so the record of remaining 200 students will be shown in the defaulter list, okay. So and there is other section for discount. So what this section is doing, so some school gives some discounts to needy people or orphans or some students, okay. So instead of giving this discount every time in the voucher, what I had done, I had add a function that add the discount for that student once, okay, and then it will be added to the voucher every time the voucher will be generating. So whenever we will click on add discount, we will write the admission number of the student and then the amount, okay, and then we will save the discount. So the discount for that student will be added permanently and it will be added in the voucher automatically, okay. So for the discount record, you can see that this is the record. So to admission number has been given some kind of discount, okay. So if you want to edit the discount, you can also edit the discount, and if you want to delete the discount, you can also delete the discount, okay. And if you want to search any discount, so when the record will be used, so if you want to search it, you can also search it, okay. So after this section, what this section is doing, so for generating fees voucher, what I am doing is I am generating the fees voucher of whole class, okay, only once, okay. So I will generate the fees voucher for the whole class, okay, and then we will print the voucher for the whole classes in one take, okay. So we don't have to generate the voucher and write the information for every student, that write everything for every student. You just have to write everything for one student, and that will be copied to all of the students in the class. So what I am doing it, you will select the class, then the feces, okay, then the month, then the year, and then the generation date, and then the due date, and you will click on generate voucher. The voucher will be generated, okay. So keep in mind there are validations in the form. You can't generate the voucher of 1 month twice, okay. You you can only print the generate the voucher of 1 month of one class only once, okay. And for printing the voucher, you will come here and again write the class you want to print, okay. Then you will select the month and then the year, and whenever you will click on the search, if there are vouchers, so you all the vouchers will be printed, okay. You can see that. So these voucher designs are given by the school, okay. So this is the design, okay. So you can see that the discount is automatically added, okay, and it has been removed from the total fees, as the total fees is 4,000 and 600 is a discount, so the fees is 3,400, and there is also a fine, okay, which is 100, which is also automatically added into the voucher, okay. So there is also a logic for previous balance. So if some student didn't pay the previous month fees, it will also add it into the form itself. So this is a very difficult page, so I will show you the uh, some things regarding this page, okay. Instead of showing you all the things and you will get confused, okay. So before going to the manage fees record and manage result, I will show you the certificate section, which is a lot simpler, and then I will show you the control panel, okay. So what I am doing in the certificate section, so that there are 6 type of certificates, 3 for student and 3 for faculty. So whenever, so all the certificates uses the same logic, okay, exactly the same logic, only the names are changed and the letters or the certificate in the forms are changed, okay. So suppose I want to give a certificate to a student, leaving certificate, who is leaving the school. So I will write the admission number of student, and I will click on filter. So the certificate for that student will be automatically printed. So I didn't write anything in the certificate yet, okay. All the information will be automatically printed, and you have to click on update leaving certificate, okay. This will update the database that you have given a leaving certificate to Muhammad Munir, okay. So it will automatically update the database itself, and if you want to print that certificate, you just have to uh, press Ctrl P. So only the certificate will be printed, okay. You can see that. So this is the, and nothing from the page will be printed, okay. So this thing is printing still because I had added this thing later, so I didn't remove this thing, okay. So instead of using complex JavaScript functions, I had used simple CSS to print this page, okay. So I had used printing in different places, in the fees places, in certificate, in result printing, and in the lists, okay. So I had used simple CSS in all of the places instead of writing the difficult JavaScript functions. So first I will show you the certificate, okay. Then I will show you the control panel, which these two things are very easy. Then I will show you the manage fees record and manage result. So this this will print the records and certificates, and this will show the record for the certificate. So whenever I will click the student leaving certificate, it will show me the record for the student who has been issued a leaving certificate. So this is a simple thing. So you just have to write the select query and show it in the table, just like we had shown the students or employees, okay. So you will just write select uh, static from the table, okay. So suppose we had the name leaving certificate student, so this is the name of table. So we will write select static from student leaving certificate, okay, and then you will run the query and show it, okay. So I don't have to show you this page, I will only show you the one page for leaving certificate, and you can copy it for all other certificates, okay. So let me show you. So this is the page for the student, okay, for leaving certificate for student. So what I am doing it in here, so there is a form here which through which we will get the admission number, and then we will click on the submit button. So this form is simple. I hope you will do that. So whenever user will click the button, the user will go up, okay, and it will see that if the array key exists, okay, and then it will update the post the admission number, okay, and then what it will do, it will select all of these things, okay, because I am showing all of these things in my certificates, okay. So if you want to shows less information or more information, just write anything, okay, from students where admission number is admission number, okay. So you can also write equal to instead of like statement. So I had used this like statement, so there is no difference in it. So then I will run the query, okay, and then I will fetch the data and place it in the row, okay, and then there's a nice message that certificate is generated, okay. So down there, this is the certificate, okay. I had used a text area to write the certificate. So this is the certificate. So this is simple certificate. Now so you can see that there is student first name, and then I am showing the name, then student last name, then I am showing the name and all the things. And then there is another form, okay. What this will do, this will show this will update the data in the uh, database, okay. So you can see the value of this. It is saying a termination, the certificate has issued to the first name and then the last name, okay. So whenever we will click the button, okay, which has a name of print, so it will again go to the top. So you can see that now this time this query will run because print is posted. So it will post the certificate information, and it will insert it into the certificate table. So you can see that insert into student termination certificate, okay. This is the name of table, okay. Then this is the name of column, and then I am giving the values, okay. Then I am running the query, and whenever I will click on the button, it will also give me the information that information updated. You can see that. I will show you. So whenever I will click this, you can see that the message has changed to information updated, okay. So these errors are because there is no data getting from the database yet. So whenever you will get no data from the database, it will show that undefined error variable, you are fetching an undefined variable. So we don't doing anything like that because we didn't select any admission number yet. So whenever we will click on the admission number, so the form will be error free, okay. So this is how I am doing this functionality. So I had used this functionality myself because I had seen that many schools will write certificate whenever someone leaving it. So I thought, why don't we do something automatically? So for that I had used this feature. So in this video I will show you the last thing, which is control panel. So what I am doing in control panel is this. So whenever user will click on control panel, so this is only the administration part, okay. So only administration main administration person will have the access to this page, okay. So data of this person will be automatically saved in the database by the programmer, or I will save it, okay. So only one person will have access to this page. So and this person can give access to any other person to the software, okay. So he has to write his own email and then the password, and then he will click on login. So you can see that this is the page for adding user, okay. So this page is exactly the same as manage employee and manage student, because we are adding a user just like we are adding an employee, and we are deleting a user as we are deleting an employee, and editing and showing all the things as we are doing in this. So whenever I will click the add user, you can see that I have to write an email and password and submit the information. User will be added. Then this is the page for main menu, and then if you want to delete the user, you can delete it, and I did the, you can update it just like the same, and if you want to see the record of all users, you can see it. I don't think I have to show you the code for this, as all of the code is same. So let me just show you only the code for add user. Okay, so you can guess that all the code is same. So you can see that this is the code for inserting a user. So this is the form which will ask a email, a password. Okay, then there is a button. Okay, and whenever we will click the button, the information will be updated in the database, and then there is also a message that user inserted. Okay, so you can see that, and then there is another button which we will refer to the back page. Okay, so I had shown you the logic how we can refer ourselves to the previous page using button. Okay, so it is a bit of a trick. You can see that in my previous video. Okay, which previous video of this project. So this is all for this video. In the next video I will show you the fees management system and result management system. Okay, so then the our project will be completed, and if you had any query in this project, kindly ask in the comment section. I will definitely answer your every query. Okay, so this is all for this video. Thank you.